live stream of the PS2 classic Primal. This is going to be a four-part series. I'm going to do the introduction, Oblivion bit, and first realm Solum. In the second part, I will be doing the realm Aquis. In the third part, I will be doing the realm Ether. And in the fourth part, I will be doing the realm Volca and the end of the game. This is going to be a 100% playthrough. I will be getting all of the tarot cards. And by the end of the stream series, I will also do a small bonus video where I go through all of the tarot card collectibles. But for now, I shall just try to keep quiet while the cutscene plays. For sources of YouTube, I do not own the music in this video. That is for the band 16 Volt, who did the music for this intro cutscene and did various bits of music for the actual game itself. That is for that they own the content. It's just in the game, and it is very good content. Please support them.
Sorry, babe. Hey, Lewis, what's up?
Cute freak in the crowd that's staring at me.
Also, if you hear random noises in the background, I vape, so I will be vaping throughout the game. Gave up smoking in July, been vaping ever since, and slowly working on the nicotine cut down on that. But yeah, apologies if you hear the vaping.
If we don't pay him tonight, we're gonna be living in a box.
Jen, you never used to complain. I think we're going to play.
I'm 21, Lewis. Too old to be living like a bum. Plus, I'm gonna need study space once I start college. No autographs. Creep.
Also, just to give an age-restricted warning, I'm not restricting the viewing age on this game, but I do just want to warn everyone that I do use foul language, and I can, on occasion, make the very crude innuendos. So, just to be warned that that may happen. I will, of course, do the disclaimer at the beginning of every section of this. This follows the successful completion of my Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice Let's Stream. That was a 3-part series in which I finished the Platinum Trophy for the PlayStation 4. If you want to watch that, I will try and add a link on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen now. It'll only appear as long as the loading screen. It will not be in any way, shape or form obscuring the cutscenes. So it'll only be there for a short time, but I will put the link in the description of the video as well, if you did want to go and watch my stream of Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, where I go through the location of all of the lore stones, and generally get through the game with only 3 deaths. It may appear like I die more in that game, but a lot of them are scripted, so there's only 3 actual deaths. But yes, it was a good stream. I really enjoyed it. It does make me think that potentially, instead of doing let's plays on the channel, I'll do streams instead. Because when I do have viewers chatting to me through the live chat, I feel like that's a much better experience than doing an episode and then waiting for comments to come up. Because this way as well, I could say, I mean, with Senua's Sacrifice, I did a stream on Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday. With this, because of the length of time you could be in a realm, I'm not gonna say that it will be Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday. I may even have to break the other realms down into 2 parts, dependent, because I know the first world quite well. I know Solum quite well. I've started a let's play on the channel, but I will probably remove that to make way for this. Aquis, the second realm, I'm vaguely familiar with it. Ether, the third realm, again, I have a vague recollection, but not too much. And Volcar, the fourth realm, I don't remember at all. So it might be that I have to cut the second, third, and fourth realms down into 2 episodes each. Hopefully I'm not going to do that. Hopefully I will manage to do them all in one stream. But we'll see how that goes. Potentially I'm looking at a stream schedule of Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, which will give me Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday to do work-related things and also catch up with friends. If people are interested, I will try and bring guest co-hosts onto the streams, so that you get more conversation, more banter going on. But that's something I can look into a little bit later. Now, the thing with this game is that there's no platinum trophy for PS4, it being a PS2 classic. When they transferred it across and gave it trophies, obviously it didn't receive a platinum. However, I am looking to 100% it in this run through. I'm not certain whether there are other collectibles that I may miss, such as the crystals and things like that. But I'll certainly do my best.
What the hell? My God. What just happened?
But for now that I've got all of that out of the way, I hope you sit back and enjoy, because I remember playing this a lot when I was younger. This came out in 2003. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed playing it back then, and I'm sure I'll enjoy playing it now. But yeah, guys, enjoy.
Sounds like one of Lewis's fantasy novels.
This is real, Jennifer. I know you mortals think you're at the heart of everything, but believe me, you're not. Now please try to absorb all of this quickly. There really is no time to waste.
Okay, I'm trying. Just one thing, though. No matter where we are, you gotta stop calling me Jennifer. You sound like my stepdad. It's Jen.
I am to give you these. They are devices that will help you to learn of your true self. And if my lady is correct, they may afford us some protection.
What am I supposed to do with this?
It's a vambrace. They fasten around your wrists. Please, it's important that you trust me and just put them on.
I've just jumped out of my skin, left my body in some hospital, been dragged through a rift gate,
Rift Gate.
and I'm in oblivion. Vambrace? Not a problem.
Precisely.
Ooh, shiny. And pretty comfy for a pair of metal doodads. Could have been made for me.
They were.
So, how do I get them off?
You don't.
And this guy wants me to trust him. This lady you keep mentioning, who is she?
I serve Arella. She is all that is good and pure. She is strength and virtue. She is righteousness. She is nobility.
She's a person, right?
She is not a person. She is not mere flesh and bone, emotion and desire. She is one of two primal forces that govern the universe. She is order.
And the other would be...
The other would be Abaddon, the embodiment of chaos, lord of corruption and decay. He is my lady's eternal foe and the reason for my being.
Right. You know you're gonna have to introduce me to this Arella.
Oh, I shall, and she will be most relieved to see you. But first, I must show you more of Oblivion. Please follow me.
Scree, will all this start making sense anytime soon? Is there nothing you can say that won't leave my head spinning?
I think that perhaps your Lewis may have been brought here.
Lewis? Lewis here? You've got to help me find him.
Right, so now we're into the playing aspect of the game. Well, for a short moment anyway. There is another cutscene coming up. But for now, this is Oblivion.
This way?
Fuck off, Scree. As Scree was just explaining, this is Oblivion. It's the centre of the four realms of... this is the Nexus. It's the centre of the four realms of Oblivion. As I mentioned, Solum, Aquis, Ether, and Volca are the four realms themselves. Oh, I don't like the way this camera's working. I might have to fix that in a second. But yes. I will also show you something very, very amusing to me in a very short moment as well after this cutscene. Pay close attention to the colours that were above Jen at the time.
With the might of chaos and order eternally battling, a balance between them must also be fought for. Here at the heart of the Nexus is where that happens, drawing in the two primal forces, governing, generating a safe parallel energy. That is the awesome responsibility of Kronos.
And awesome's the word for this gadget. Oh! There's someone in the middle of all that.
As I said, Jen, Kronos.
Jeez, he's looking at me.
Perhaps he can hear you, too.
Well... I'm sure the guy's doing a great job in there. On there. Oh my god, Scree, he's plugged into the damn thing.
It is an ancient machine, with Kronos living at its heart. There are four realms in Oblivion, Jen. Two aligned with order and two with chaos. Each realm has its own natural balance, eternally generating the right levels of primal energy, which is drawn into the Nexus and fed through Kronos to Arella and Abaddon. Kronos has eternally governed with wisdom and impartiality, channeling balanced strength to them both. Without him, the Nexus, Oblivion, and your Mortalis wouldn't exist at all. Simple as that.
You know, If I was as wise as this Cronus, I'd find a cushier job. Pull out the jacks and sweep the paint for
For all our sakes, I trust your own sense of responsibility matches your distinctive sense of humor.
Distinctive good or distinctive?
Distinctive inappropriate.
Jeez, I'm being heckled by a troll. Is he okay? That doesn't look too healthy.
No. The force of chaos is overpowering him. Abaddon is putting his ancient plan into practice. A break with eternity. He's secretly corrupting the kingdoms of order, strengthening the realms of chaos, foolishly rocking the Nexus like a boat about to capsize. Just look at our guardian suffering to keep control. He may not last very long. Come on, Jen, we have no time to lose.
Okay, I'm coming. Just don't leave me behind here.
Okay, so interestingly, in the space of a cutscene, when we came into the Nexus to see Cronus, we came in from over that corner, because we had the teal and purple colours above us, but now we are here, between the green and the yellow. And here is where we're going to be going down this staircase here, because there is one tarot card in the Nexus, and it's down here. I know Scree wants us to go down that way to the first realm, but we are going to go this way to start with. I'm going to get stuck on the wall just because. It's the way it works. Okay. We're going to run down here. So this is underneath Kronos. I'm not quite sure why there's no sound. I think I may have the ambient sound turned down a little bit. Or I've just completely lost sound. Bear with me. No, the sound is still there. It just seems like we've lost sound. I'm not quite sure why. To be fair, it did this when I started the game up and I had to restart the game to bring sound back. I'm hoping when we jump into into Solum, it will be there. If not, you're just going to hear me talking over the music. Oh, there we go, and the music is back. But we found a tarot card, so that's one. So that tarot card was Justice, represented by Kronos there in the centre. Now there's a little bit of mythology going on here. So interestingly enough, Kronos is one of the Titans in Greek mythology, indeed the father of Hades, Zeus, and Poseidon. Also heralded as the father of time in some pantheons.
It's no good. I'm gonna have to ask Scree.
Questions again. And if there's something I'd want you to ask, you never do. What, please?
These symbols.
Ah,
I presume you have noticed this.
indeed, there is a remarkable similarity.
They are identical, you lunk. Lewis drew the design for me just after we met. How come the symbols all over the place here?
I simply can't tell you.
Can't or won't?
So in Solum there are 8 tarot cards. Again, I will be collecting them all. It may take me a little bit longer and therefore make the stream a little bit longer than it normally would be if it was just a straightforward run through. but I will try to keep the searching and exploration down as much
Forget
as I
it.
possibly can.
Everything else going on, that ain't gonna freak me out. Come on, little guy.
I really don't like the camera in this game. It's not okay.
Where are we now?
We have entered the kingdom of Solom. Time stands still in the four realms connected to the Nexus. In this realm, it is eternal night.
And let me guess. Eternal winter?
By nature, Solom is bleak of climate, but nothing too harsh for its people. The Ferai are strong and resourceful hunters.
You say hunters?
The worlds of Oblivion are each inhabited by a different race, and yes, the Ferai are fierce, sometimes brutal, but they are fundamentally good. You're going to meet a lot worse, I assure you.
Splendid.
Solom and its people have always been aligned with order, providing my Lady Arella with power.
But now things have gotten screwed up, right?
Yes, thanks to Abaddon's villainy. His interference in the realms is drawing all the primal energy to his side and starving my lady of her very existence. In truth, neither side can survive without the other, and soon everything will be destroyed.
So the guy's trashing the status quo, creating chaos. Guess he's doing his job.
And we must do ours, so just listen.
Oops.
I'm sorry. You must forgive me for that, Jen. So much more will become clear to you, child, but we've so little time.
Hey, look, don't sweat it. I'm fine. So what's to be done here? Let's get on with it.
Thank you, Jen. Right, now, what we've got to do here, Jen, is, I haven't the faintest idea. But I do know Solom has been tainted by chaos somehow, and we have to restore the natural order. I told you the Ferai are violent, but they live as a basically peaceful clan with rituals and art, for example, a structured society. The one crucial thing for the race is their king. In Solom, the king has huge authority, awesome strength, but he must, without fail, sacrifice himself at the height of his power and pass the throne to his heir.
Gruesome.
Ah, yes, the burning crown, the traditional method of royal sacrifice. Failure of the king to abdicate his power would devastate the land and lead its people to ruin.
Ruin as in...
Precisely. The king here is Hearn, strong, deadly even, but always a good leader for his people, I believe. A Ferai king like any other through eternity, but some time ago he was due to relinquish power.
And he's running for another term.
He is senselessly refusing to give up his rule, and so leading the Ferai to disaster.
So we check it out. Cool.
Yes. A sound plan of action.
Right, so here we are in the realm of Solom, and again it seems like the sound is cut back out. It's coming in for the cutscenes, but not for the actual gameplay, which kind of sucks, but it works. Less chance of copyright claims, which are completely different from copyright strikes.
I'll quite happily lead the way whenever you like.
Which is really strange, because the vocal audio is there. Okay, so I mean, this is pretty much the tutorial realm. You'll find you can move back and forth between Jen and Scree. There are going to be points where you can only play as one character or the other, though, just purely because of the way the level design is made. Now, there is a gatehouse there, and there is a tarot card up there, but we'll be coming back to that one later because we can't access it just yet. If we try, we will die. Horribly and painfully. But yes, let's move on to this cave here.
You hear those growls, Scree?
That sounds like Malkai. They're primitive, territorial beasts. Huge teeth, fearsome claws, fond of the dark.
Well, that's it. We ain't moving. Oh, no.
I suspect they'd only be interested in devouring you.
Oh, great.
I doubt they'd find me too palatable.
Sure. They don't look particularly tasty.
Malkai are afraid of fire. I'll scout ahead, see if I can find anything.
I'll stay here until you get back.
Yeah, so we're back into the game, and this is a point where you can only play as Scree. Jen will go no further, as they mentioned that there are Malkai. Now, the Malkai, as you can see here, are gribbly little creatures with green glowing eyes and long sharp teeth and claws. Now, even though Scree just said that they would not find him too palatable, interestingly enough, if you go too close to them, they will attack Scree, though I don't think it does much in the way of damage. Scree doesn't really have a health bar, being a rock. So, us scouting ahead is just us finding some way to light the cave, because they don't like the light or fire, one of the two. Now, of course, this is the fire cave, so we will find what we're looking for in here. There's nothing here There's nothing here that I'm aware of. But being a puzzle game, I'm fairly. Thank you, Scree. I'm fairly certain there are things that I may miss, so I probably will smash as many barrels as I possibly can if I see them, just to make sure. Oh, we have music again. That's always good. I'm not quite sure what's happening with the sound, so if it cuts in and goes away again, I'm terribly sorry. It's some glitch on the game. So the first tarot card is going to be a little bit further into the level. We're not going to find it just yet, and I've gone the wrong fucking way. Brilliant. It's always helpful. See, if you run at them with the fire, they will back away. They don't like it. Mind you, I can't think of many people that if you ran at them with something that was on fire and lit, that they wouldn't back off. Yeah, you see, look, the little shit's got back down. But scarily enough, like I feel like there should be another. Well, I guess there's this one, but you can't light it. I feel like there should be another torch in here that you can light, just because it just doesn't make sense that one keeps them all away.
I've illuminated the cave, Jan. It should be safe for you to enter.
Small point. Typical picky me. Should be safe or is safe?
It is safe.
Well done, big guy.
So there is another YouTuber who I did watch do a playthrough of this. Scottish Duck. I will put a link to the playlist in the description, although I'm sure he needs no introduction by someone like myself. Yeah, so Scree can provide clues, so if you push the triangle button, just going to ask him what we're doing.
Explore, see if we can find Hearn.
Yeah, he's just going to explain what we need to do next. So, moving into this area, which is the area that we have just come through with Scree to the fire cave.
You can look at my maps whenever you like.
Now, as we can see, the fire cave is there, but we are actually going to go to the right. And this is going to bring us down here. And it's going to explain another mechanic shortly, but we're going to have a quick scout around. Not too much, because I believe you can run into Malkai. Yeah, that'll do it. We're just going to enter another cutscene.
Small and made from stone has some advantages.
It does?
Absolutely. I can climb up any stonework surface. Now that's something that might be useful to us, don't you think?
I guess.
Yeah, so Scree can, I mean, it says any stonework surface. That's a pile of bull. Like, expositionally, when he can be bothered, he will climb up stonework surface. but not all stonework surface. But as I know the tarot card isn't here, we're gonna move on, and we're gonna progress the story.
This thing weighs a ton. I might need your help here.
So you see we're in the Ferrai Villa now. Now he said about using his maps, which we can look at whenever we want. You can zoom out to look at the entire realm of Solum, or you can just look at various areas. So as you can see there, we started at the Circle of Kings, we made our way through the Maokai Cave, we're now at the Ferrai Villa. Now you will visit every single part of the world, and there is some backtracking involved in some of it as well. But there will be more on that sort of later.
Damn that wind!
Uh-oh.
Don't panic. They can smell fear, you know.
You're not on the menu here. I'll smell how I want. Shit.
It's Hearn. Don't worry. I can speak the demon tongue. Deus Safinta, Gwend Gen, Eb Ota Jimen Diarella, Eb Hivan Keferai, Ekta Sunsetem Rekba.
This runt would have me believe you're an envoy of the goddess Arella. You look more like a sniveling half-breed to me.
Scream. I vote we're big enough to swallow the odd insult here.
Strangers, in these treacherous times. Should I drive you from my kingdom, or leave you to the Maokai?
Trust me, Lord Hearn. We're here to help you.
Help me? I suppose you must know the whereabouts of my son, then.
Well, no.
So I'm just going to take a drink while the cutscene's on.
It was a night like this when Jared went missing.
But listen, I do know what it's like to lose someone. My friend Lewis was taken from me. Couldn't we at least help you look for Jared?
You seem ill-equipped to be helping anyone. Take this, and you may just survive the night.
Thanks.
I have no more time for strangers. I must return to the great temple. Perhaps tonight my prayers will be answered.
I guess we know what he prays for.
The safe return of his son.
Come on, Scree, we can do it. Let's find this Jared.
Fine, fine, as you wish. I'll add him to the list.
Hey, why do you call me a half-breed?
Right, this is where it becomes
Perhaps it's time
annoying,
for me to scout ahead again.
because the camera turns around. Here is another interesting little addition to the game. Lodestones.
What you doing?
It's called a lodestone. They're important. You'll find out later.
You are one strange critter, Scree.
Right, so we need to be Scree anyway. Jen's gonna hang around here. This is the stonework surface that Scree can climb down. I will get my words out eventually. Again, exposition of the game and game logic. This is where he can climb, because, you know, gaming rules. There's a couple of barrels there. Oh, there's one there I've missed. Again, this is just a thing. Believe we are coming up on the next Yeah, I believe we're coming up on the next tarot card. Yes, the next tarot card is just up ahead. So we're supposed to be finding a way for Jen to get across the
Need to find
river.
a way to get Jen over here.
Thank you, Scree. I was slightly just ahead of you there. But before we do that, we're going to climb up this wall here. And go up in here. So this is the mill. And as you can see there is a dusty thing on the floor. We're going to pick it up. And that is a tarot card. That is the Fool. Or represented in this particular tarot deck by Jen herself. It's a bit rude if you ask me, but you know, in standard tarot decks, the Fool isn't actually justified by the name itself, although it can have that meaning. The Fool card generally symbolizes naivety. Just to give you a little bit of a background there. So I mentioned as well, I haven't mentioned it so far, but I'm going to mention it now. The lore and the use of cross mythology in the game. I did cover Kronos already. Now, interestingly enough, if you're into that kind of thing, I mean, I'm going to say it anyway. But if you do find it interesting, I will try and find snippets out going through each of the realms. Abaddon, the lord and embodiment of all chaos, is actually... There's a Maokai there. Right, we need to switch back to Jen. Now, this I hate. I can't stand the combat in this game. I feel like they just kind of lucked out and didn't do anything with it. I feel like they could have done so much more with the actual combat of the game. Now, where's the other one? There's normally 3. No, there's just the 2. Okay, so we're going to run back to where we felled the tree. Yes, so anyway, going into the cross mythologies of the characters of the game, I'm still searching to see if there's anything on Arella. But Abaddon, ironically, he's used in a fair few games. He was the main baddie, as it were, the main enemy, antagonist, whatever you want to call it, of Guild Wars, the original Guild Wars, not Guild Wars 2, and the Nightfall expansion. He was the final boss that you fought in that. But Abaddon is actually a demon in Christian mythology. Oh, hello.
You didn't fail, Scream. How can you let go when there's no heir to take over?
Of course. Finding Jared could be the key to restoring the balance in Solom.
That was interesting. Not. I'm just going to pause the game for a moment, YouTube. Bear with me. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, and I'm back. I'm wondering if the PlayStation's overheating slightly, so I've just opened the bedroom window to let a bit of air in. So you may occasionally hear cars passing. Hopefully you won't, though, because that would be irritating. Right, so the next one, the next tarot card we're looking for is here. Not too far away from the first one. So we need to slip through this crack here as Jen, because Scree can't do it, and we need to open this door.
Good job, Jen.
So once we have access to that, we can use Scree and go up. You can see the tarot card there, look. We're going to climb this wall, I believe it is. Yep. And once we're up here, we're going to climb across the wall like this. I believe this is the way we go. It's not. So we go to the right instead. And we step down onto the platform. And there's another tarot card. This one is the King of Pentacles, or symbolized in this game by Hearn, another character that I'm going to be discussing now. So in mythology and pantheon, deity pantheons, or pantheons of deities, if you want to say it. I'm sure there's a specific word for it, and I can't think of it right now. Hearn is the god of the hunt in the Celtic pantheon and Celtic mythology, often cross-referenced as Pan in some pagan circles. Once again, just a little tidbit of information there that you might find interesting, or you may not. Certainly, if you're watching this live stream after I finish the live stream. Oh.
We should ask these tribesmen if they know anything about Jared's disappearance.
Shoot.
Beagni, nedi vasus agat di keep gaxi kod volvek Jared?
Ip anot bot kapki. Udnon gyanol ruledon vumila bapot vern klumpad. Ubsa kernas Jared nukti.
Apparently Jared used to hunt here. Some time ago the locals heard a terrible fight raging. Nobody's seen him since.
But yeah, so if you do find the mythology thing interesting, I will of course endeavour to keep putting them in. If not, then I can always take that out. That's not too much of a problem. So the next one we have is the gatehouse itself, which is a little bit far away from where we are at the moment. Now, where have I just come in from? Because that threw me. I will check up here just to see if this is where we need to be. And it is. Good. And we've lost Scree. Why have we lost Scree? This game is really buggy. I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, he's there. I don't know why he was stuck. It's very unusual. Very odd. Is he following now at least? Yes, because we do need him. And one thing I am going to do is take the torch. And I'm going to take over as Scree for the moment, because we do need him. That's not exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to break that barrel, but you know, we'll do it anyway. It's how we're gonna break that wall down. I'm gonna walk this all the way up here. Then we're gonna go into another cutscene. I really don't understand why the music keeps cutting off. unless it just generally is that the game, the PlayStation's overheating, and the game glitched a fair bit there. Not quite sure why. It's very unnerving. See, she got stuck on that stone. We're gonna climb up here. I'm gonna break this barrel. And this one. Ah! It's always worth breaking all the barrels in this game because you do find things that otherwise you wouldn't find. And these lodestones will come in handy later on. There's another torch there. I don't believe there's an achievement for lighting all of the torches. I just think it's just a nice little touch to light the torches, really. These barrels, of course, you have to break because you've got to go on them stairs. I'm not going to bother lighting that one. Or that one. So as you can see there, we're experiencing earthquakes in the realm of Solum. That is because of... Gonna have a quick look. No, we're not quite at the gatehouse yet. The gatehouse is over there, so we've got a little bit more time to kill before we get to the gatehouse. And the next tarot card. But here we are gonna go in here, and we're gonna try and trigger a cutscene now.
Rift gates outside of the Nexus are a little different to those within. Before we can use this one, we must first power up the outer discs. You take one wheel, I'll take the other. We need to build up sufficient speed so that a passageway may be formed.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you can see there, here are all the rift gates in Solum. I will be endeavouring to collect all of them. Again, I don't think there's a trophy for it, but it's just again just a nice little thing to have. It makes backtracking so much easier when you're later into the level, and you've got to go from one side of the realm to the other. It just makes things so much quicker and easier. There's another fight. Where's the other one? Always come in 2s or 3s. There it is. And there's 3 of them this time. Oh, the combat in this system is just so janky. I don't like it. I feel like, I mean, it was okay for the PS2, but if they were going to remaster or do anything to the game to enable it for PS4, I feel like they could potentially have spoken to the developers and seen if there was something they could do to redo the game. Although, interestingly, I wouldn't actually say no to a complete remake of this game. You know, for the PS4 or for yeah, you know, for the PS4. The one thing I would say about it, if they were to do a remake, is that not to make it so linear. Like, if you could just do any of the realms first.
Now, this isn't a good sign.
What is it?
It's a piece of a Ferai's horn. It has an engraved tip. The symbol is similar to one used by Hearn's family.
I guess Guess we should show it to him then.
Right, okay, so now we have to go... Yeah, we have to go to the right hand side here and follow this up. Now there's going to be more Maokai around, because this is the way this game works. When you make progress, you always enter combat.
Just stand there, watch, and help me out here.
Or you generally do eventually hit combat when you make progress. It could only be significant progress though, I guess.
I think we'll need to split up here. I can climb down. I'm afraid you'll have to find another way.
Yeah, so this is another aspect of the game. Because I believe this is actually classified as a puzzle game, not an RPG. Again, this is a section where you kind of play as Jen and you play as Scree completely separately. But all you're going to do here is just take Jen down here. Because this is eventually where she'll be meeting up with Scree. Now, what I like to do, just to, you know, make sure that everything's fine, is I like to leave Jen there. And then as Scree climb down to this section, where of course the camera's going to turn around and it's just going to put me back here. That's not what I needed to do. And then climb across here. And then go up this side. Just because normally when you switch between the characters, they run back and forth. And can sometimes get stuck, as you saw with Scree earlier on. So I kind of like to leave Jen there because, as you can see, she hasn't moved. She's exactly where we left her. And we're meeting up with Scree here anyway. So there's no big loss of time management doing it that way. Although you can just bring Jen across to this side and then go and get Scree. It really doesn't impact the gameplay at all. That's just kind of how I like to do it. It just stops Jen from running around. Right, so here we're coming down to the... Yeah, here we're coming down to the ferrite thing. Now the gatehouse is here with the next tarot card, but I think what I'm going to do is leave that until a little bit later. Just because there will be... Why would you do that, Jen? There was no need to do that. Just because there will be a ferrite to fight in there. And it's just going to be easier to wait until a little bit later in the game, in the level, before we do that one. You'll understand why when it happens. I don't want to put too much of a spoiler on it.
Down, someone's coming.
What's going on here?
Who's she?
Ah, it's Lady Divina.
Wait, Scree. I don't know who she is, but this does not look like a welcoming committee.
Casus is includi vit deos jalwenari.
Die job tu penny, parduli al hegdiden. Dur san jeep mop vedum bolhen. Deos need you pup kaverbe.
Stupid. Du lasso san pen, ati san apa.
No. I don't understand. Divina is known as a noble and just queen. Why would she have someone murdered like that?
Guess she ain't the gal she used to be.
The prisoner was no criminal. He was a shaman, a Ferai holy man. He spoke of uncovering Divina's secret and that there were others still loyal to Hearn. We must find out what he meant.
Wonder if Hearn knows about his wife's mean streak.
I doubt it, and I don't relish the task of telling him.
Right, so we're not going to try and go through that way because I don't think it works. Instead, we're going to go around this way, which is where there's another little kind of puzzle aspect kind of thing going on here, where we have to take Jen this way. Don't. I'm sure it was down here. Maybe it's not. No, yeah, it is. So once again, I'm going to leave Jen there because she won't move. Scree can climb over her very easily on this stone wall. And we can leave him there. And that's this portion of that puzzle done. So by the look of it, we are making good time with the realms so far. The last time I was in here took me 4 hours. Now that could change once we start getting into regular combat. Because Lord knows we will be getting into regular combat a lot. Right, there's one. Where's the other one? Told you they always come in 2s or 3s. But because that seemed to glitch, I am going to run around and see if there's a 3rd. Because they will... Yeah, there it is. And as you can see, this one's slightly different. It's a slightly darker shade of its normal grey. So the enemies are going to scale in their... the enemies are going to scale in relation to the hit points that they have. Now, as you can see, there are 2 paths you can take. I don't think it matters particularly which one you do. Both will lead you to this bit here. Now, there is a tarot card here, surprisingly enough. Just need to find it. I think I may have gone wrong. Right, after defeating the Malkite in the square, go down an alley. Find a house with a green door. which Scree can climb on. But I don't think it's this bit. I think it's a little bit further in. Well, that's just annoying. I do have a walkthrough in front of me, just to help find all of the tarot cards. I mean, the ones in this level I can vaguely remember where the majority of them are. This is the way we came. See, again with this game, it's so easy to get turned around. Right, so this is a square. Ah! So, and that's why I couldn't find that door. I'm gonna get Scree to climb up here. And go around the corner. And voila, we have a tarot card. This one is the Empress, or signified by Arella. Now you'll hear a lot about Arella throughout the game. We won't actually meet her until after Solum, but again, that's spoilers, and it's all kind of brought together in a later point. Now this bit can be a little bit of a maze. As you can see that we need to get up to that top set of stairs at the top right hand corner of the map. Now to do that, it looks fairly straightforward, but it's not. You have to go through a few buildings. First of which I believe is up here, and that just froze. That's not okay. That just froze for a second. That's not okay. Makes me think that the recording may bugger up. Which I'm hoping it doesn't, because I don't want to cut the realms into two if I can help it. If I have to, I have to. I'll stream for 2 hours, and I'll see if it's still being a bit glitchy. I'll cut it 2 hours, and then I will have to do the two the realms in 2 episodes, which isn't really that big a deal. There's nothing saying I can't do it that way. It would actually make things a lot easier for me to do it in 8 2-hour segments as opposed to 4 4-hour segments. But we'll see how we get on.
These Farai sure can jump.
Right, now we're going to come across here, and there are Maokai over here because we've made progress.
Scree, what's with the glowing stuff?
It happens when I'm close to stone figures, resonating with Ferai energy. It means I can temporarily transfer my soul into any statue formed from this material.
Cool.
Cool! Just wait till you see me do it. Then you'll see what I'm made of. Cool.
Okay. Go ahead, that's a fine statue, a lovely glow.
I can't do it yet. I need the essence from more Ferai lodestones before I can shift form.
Okay, calm down. I'll take your word for it. Rocky.
If only she knew.
So he needs more lodestones. So we will just run around the building here, and we'll find the lodestones that he actually needs. Some are in the open, some are hidden. I will switch between Jen and Scree, running between them, because I'm not 100% certain. I think there may be battles involved, and while you can just sit as Scree and let Jen do it on her own.
Get that.
Is he going to do it himself? Yes. That doesn't always happen. Now, I seem to recall in the PlayStation 2 version, no matter what, if you were Jen and you walked up to a lodestone and tapped on it, he would say, she'd say, I need Scree to help me with this, or he'd say, let me get that for you, and he would go over and he'd do it. The AI, for some reason, in this game, like when they pushed it over to the PS4, didn't sync as well. So it seems only when Scree says, let me get that for you, that he will actually do it, which is a bit annoying. So as you can see that we've changed form, we had enough lodestones to do it. So Scree can possess the statue.
Yeah, okay, that was quite impressive. A rock of many talents.
Now generally there is a achievement there, I already have it, for, as I say, doing the Let's Play. But we're also getting close to our next Rift Gate too.
Trasus any inonak, Apinagdi, Apinagdi, Trasus any inonak, Apinagdi, Apinagdi, Trasus any inonak, Apinagdi, Apinagdi, Apinag, Sanbinan Huvnilak, Trasus any inonak, Apinagdi, Apinagdi, Trasus any inonak, Apinagdi,
found this.
Apinagdi. Quips and Binan, you. Why do you interrupt my ritual? What is this? What have you found? This is Jared's. Where did you find it?
It was lying in an old ruin. There was blood and signs of a battle, and corpses.
My son?
No. 3 huntsmen had fallen in combat, but this was the only sign of Jared.
I must discover my son's fate. And find those who have wronged him.
Lord Hearn, how is Lady Davina coping with your son's disappearance?
My wife keeps her own counsel these days.
Well, the last time we saw her... What the...
Have the gods answered my pleas, or do they mock me?
Scree, what just happened? What's he talking about?
Show me your arms, half-breed.
Half-breed, there he goes again.
Can you truly be Arella's champion?
Get your paws off me, Scree!
It is true. You don't yet hold the power, but I believe that you are Arella's chosen.
I haven't prepared her for this yet.
Then I suggest you do so quickly!
Scree? What's happening? These damn vambrace are burning me.
Be calm. They're merely channeling powers that exist within you. You are part demon, Jan. You were brought into oblivion as a baby, your soul tainted by the touch of chaos. Hearn has awakened the Ferai within you. The Vambrace are merely catalysts for change.
Scree, it hurts!
Your body will be able to adopt each of the demon aspects of oblivion. The first time a form is awakened, the transition may be painful, but trust me, you will adjust.
What have you done to me?
Stay calm. You are in control of this. You may change form when you desire. There's nothing to be afraid of. Your humanity is not lost. However, you will find that the Ferai aspect has many advantages. Agility, strength, stamina, and if I dare say it, you're far more pleasing on the eye. Sadly, as you may have noted with her, the Ferai aren't renowned for their good nature. My point precisely.
Yeah, so now we can transform between the demon aspects of the realms of Oblivion. Well, only one of them so far. We only have the Ferai aspect unlocked. Now that we have that, and before we progress further into the story, I am going to backtrack here. Using the rift gate here. And go back to Jared's lodge. This may be a very bad thing to do, because we only have our energy to call on. We don't have anything from Scree yet, but I don't want to get too much further into the level without going and getting that tarot card, which we bypassed earlier on because I said about the Ferai I didn't want to get too far in. Again, which does mean we are going to have to do this bit again, but that's okay, because we know now what we're doing here. See, she glitched into the wall. I may very much call this at 2 hours and do it as 8 parts as opposed to 4, just looking at that. So once again, I'm going to leave her there. See, when that comes up, he's too far away. Yeah, so when you're playing as either Jen or as Scree, and you go to switch between, and the Primal symbol shows loading in the corner, they're too far apart, and the game's just loading between the two. Realistically, what you'd be looking for there is a seamless transition, seamless transition between the two, like that. It should be seamless. There should be no loading. Again, it's not that it makes a great deal of difference with the game. It doesn't. Just I prefer to make sure that I've got as little distance as I can between them, especially with the combat that you will encounter later in the game. It's just nicer to have Scree close to hand. But again, that is explained later in the game. So we're going to want to come up here. Why was that glowing green? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, we're going to want to come up here. As you can see, there are Ferai. So we're going to get into the fights with the Pharaoh now. Again, like with the Maokai, these have different variants, and the colours will change depending on that. These are grey ones, so they're your bog standard. Yeah, they're your bog standard. They're, it is what it is.
Come on, move it, damn it.
So as you can see there, we can open the gate, and we now have the Gatehouse tarot card, which is the card Strength, which is actually represented by Scree himself. We'll learn more about Scree later in the game. Now I'm going to take a quick shortcut back this way. It's back to the beginning of the realm. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to use the Rift Gate. This is what I mean about using shortcuts. I want to go back to the Great Temple. I don't think you have to button bash there, but so we are all caught up on our tarot cards. Can't go up that way, that's blocked off by rubble. So this time we're going to go back up the way we came, and I'm going to wait for Scree to catch up. See, Maokai, we have progressed, so we're going to be faced with more battle. Luckily enough with this bit, I believe it is just the two. But you're going to notice a little bit something different about the enemies now. They're going to drop, or they're going to glow yellow. We're not going to get a cutscene triggered? No, really? It's unusual. There is a cutscene around that, that we will eventually see. Now,
I bet I can jump up there easy.
to go up here.
Bouncy.
The best line in the game. But yeah, so we go down here, and there should be a lever. Yes, there is, which we can pull, and that will open the gate so the Scree can come through. He'll break that stone on his own. The AI works in mysterious ways.
Certain stones in Oblivion are highly charged with the essence of the land. By crushing them, I am able to harvest this energy. I believe it will be of use to us. More specifically, to you.
How so?
I'm able to absorb the energy that you will need to maintain strength in your demon forms. I can also drain this energy from the corpses of your foes.
A bit morbid.
Yes, well, I'm sure you'll come to thank me for it. You know you can summon demon energy from me whenever you need it, okay?
That's where the cutscene comes in. So what he's basically alluding to there is you do this, and depending on the aspect you are in, depends on the directional arrow you push. So with the ferrite, you're pushing the left hand
No.
arrow, and she will drain ferrite energy from Scree. Now, as you can see there, we've just filled up on ferrite energy, which is fine. We haven't had to take too much from him. As the fights go on and get more and more difficult, you're going to find that you're going to be doing that a lot. So it is something to bear in mind as we move forward. And we've got more Maokai here. So I was just gonna say, was it just one or was it three? Yeah, it looks like it was three. Right, okay. So we're gonna start over here anyway. Oh. So I want Scree to absorb as much demon energy as he possibly can.
I'll need Scree to help me with this.
Yeah. Oh no, he's actually doing it. Have I just come full circle? I have. Yeah. Okay. Well, I suppose you can do it that way. We're going to run back round the front because I want Scree to harvest all of that demon energy.
No.
And see, she'll tell you when she doesn't need any more, which is a good little thing. I didn't know you could get around that way. You learn something new every day. Right, there is a tarot card here. And this one can be a bastard to find. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger the cutscene so that it's done and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Break these barrels first.
Dulm gasus okeog Joanna bin an shedi vode od volvov kabakumid. Henda vitvan sephup shakri pevere vidvan ikoyaskak. Otnaka. Pijade eos piam gilliam velimid vapapota nogin. Vonod lirak vol eos honey. Lin really eos vapolgalcitos, lin really eos trapolin, lin really eos binan bolsidi, lin really eos vapolgalcitos, lin really eos trapolin, lin really eos binan bolsidi.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
Velboft eos sotrilacrun.
No further. Do they know they approach the sacred grounds? Doubtless you are right.
We saw your fire, that's all.
We're kind of asking everyone. Have you seen Prince Jared? We're trying to find him.
Spirit! A spirit walking where? Why didn't you ask him?
I guess you haven't seen him then, huh?
Nobody approaches the sacred necropolis. Even princes. Be warned. Keep away.
We must travel no further. The necropolis is sacred to the Ferai.
Scree. Duh! Jared's vanished. Of course he'd never be seen in a place where nobody ever goes. We've got to check it out.
Right, okay, so we're going to use the map here because it says go to the hunt camp, go through to the southeast corner. Where you'll find a wall that Scree can climb up. So the southeastern corner is over there. And of course, the mandatory progress fighting. Ah, see, we now have a differently coloured one again. So. Oh, 4 again. Nice. Let's see how the game does hold your hand slightly as it goes into the combat, because she doesn't, she can't fight as many in her human form as she can in the demon form. Now it doesn't really matter here if you don't pick up all of the energy stuff, because there is an energy tap there, or energy fountain, I believe it's called. Which will fill the energy up completely. But I will get on to that. Scree will explain that in more detail. Is he stuck again?
This is an energy fountain. I can draw vital energies from it. Vital to your survival.
Okay.
Oh shit. Oh, there's only one. No, there it is. Always two. Right, so actually, before I do that, let me... She doesn't need any.
No.
Oh, he doesn't need any. Oh, that's good. Right. So we're still in the Huntlands. We need to go... When in doubt, back it into a corner and fucking kill it.
I'll need Scree to help me with this.
Is he gonna do it? Nope.
No.
Right, so we're in the southeastern corner, and there is a wall there. It looks like Scree can climb with an exit on the top. And there is the tarot card. This one is the Queen of Pentacles, Divina. Why did that look like she was fighting? Right, so that's our last tarot card for a little while. We're going to run a little bit further ahead. The next one isn't till a little bit later in the level, which is absolutely fine. We don't mind that. It certainly gives us... But there's only 3 left in this realm. We've actually collected 5 of the 8. So that's good. Let me just run straight through the Ferroi, like, fucks given, none. But this is where it can get dangerous, because they're now going to be able to flank us. So you see we are going to need to rely heavily on Scree. I mean, hopefully we can kill him. Yeah, we're going to need to rely heavily on Scree to pull it all the way back up. Otherwise, if we get attacked again, we are fucked. But it's okay because the Ferroi give off more demon energy, of course, than the Malkai do. So with the deaths, with the corpses we have here, he should be able to recover quite a lot of the energy that we took from him. Yeah, see, if not nearly all of it. But that's fine because I'm sure we can find an energy fountain on the way. If not, we know there's that one by the hunt ground that we could go and get. No, there's another fight here. So we're going to go and do that. Oh, there's an arrow in your head. In fact, normally I would take that archer out first. Arrow in the knee, Skyrim reference. You're all welcome. The good thing about the shielded enemies, they don't tend to move. So, because I'm nearly out of energy, I'm going to walk over here and drain Scree. Because I can. Now that's fine because the shielded enemies, as well as obviously being a little bit more defensive, they do give off more demon energy. As you can see there, that's nearly filled half of Scree's thing.
Ah, let me get that.
Right, get it then. You can get it. It's there. You can see it. Go on. You can do it. We will need the lodestones here, but not at this particular moment. So we're going to let Scree ransack these corpses of their energy. I believe there's an energy fountain in here actually, which would be good if we can get it. It's always an idea to keep Jen topped up completely.
I'll need Scree to help me with this.
Oh, the AI did that one.
Ah, let me get that.
I mean, if you can get Scree topped up completely, look at it, just looking at it. The AI is like thinking about it, but it's not doing it, which is a pain in the arse. Right, so here's another demon door. A rift gate, demon door. That's for demon door, that's Fable. Played on an Xbox in a while, so I don't know why that one come across. So we're gonna come over here because there's some more of these stones. Maybe it's just the lodestones then that he's having a bit of an issue with.
Ah, let me get that.
No, because it's gonna do that one. So as you can see here, this is a broken rift gate, but it's absolutely fine. We've got all of the lodestones that I am aware of. Let me kick that vase, make sure there's nothing in it. Also, it's an awful vase. So now what we're going to do is we're going to backtrack a little bit. This is where the backtracking comes in. Not going to go that way because we can't go that way. We're going to come back through all the corpses. You can totally see where we've been. And we're going to go and speak to that shaman dude in the hunt ground. In the hunt camp even. And pretty much we're going to go tell him that there's Pharaoh in the sacred place where we're not supposed to be. He's not going to be happy about it.
Listen up. I'm sorry, but there's something you need to know.
She will speak.
That sacred place of yours isn't quite so off limits as you think. It's crawling.
Jen, allow me to handle this. Sir, the necropolis, we have evidence of Pharaoh presence there. Guards, archers.
It's what I said.
You have dared to set your dirty feet
My companion here lost her bearings and...
The point is, they are there. You know about that? What are they doing?
It is a sacrilege!
I'd say they're there for a purpose. They're using the cover of sacred land, guarded by yourself here, warning people off as a hideaway. And the one who is hidden is Jared.
Stop!
Now, continue.
Sir, the only path to sanctity, the kingdom's survival, is for Jared to be found, and then Hearn will be able to relinquish his throne. We need to explore the necropolis.
No one passes this.
We're asking your blessing.
There are soldiers stamping all over that hallowed place.
Stamping with their dirty feet.
Yes, and we're willing to get them out of there.
No more. You have my blessing. In these accursed days, we look beyond our first desires. Well, for the spirit. If you are to enter the necropolis, you will need this.
That was the most awkward curtsy ever. But what I like, I don't know why I like it, because it's kind of annoying, or not annoying, but very much like in the opening cutscenes where you walk into the Nexus under the opposite side from where the cutscene finishes. In those cutscenes, Jen reverts back to her human self. It's not so much annoying because you're back in the Pharaoh form afterwards, but it's just kind of like, but we were in the Pharaoh form, so I don't really understand why you would instantly be there again. No. I mean, we're making good time, I think. Certainly I've had playthroughs of this where it's been 2.5 hours and I've not got to this point yet. Now there's a little trick to this one, because we've got a no. I mean, luckily enough, once he's possessed the statue, he can...
There's no light coming from this one's eyes.
Yeah, once he's possessed the statue, you don't lose the lodestones. You can repossess it as many times as needed, which is quite nice. But we're going to do that, and then we're going to depossess the statue, because that's done. We don't need that. I'm going to shove the green crystal in it. And that opens the necropolis. We are now inside the necropolis. Yeah, it's not a mythological thing, but a necropolis is, as you probably are aware, a city of the dead. Right, I don't want to go too far down there. We're going to find a lot of battles. And I mean a lot of battles. Right, so she won't do it while he's draining energy. Yeah, look, we was nearly halfway down. That's not okay. We're going to kill everything here. It has no bearing on later on in the game. They still, they will respawn. but I'm not 100%. I mean, I don't know, as there's no purpose in doing it. I can't say for 100% that that is the case. Scree, come over here, because there is a corpse. Yeah, I can't say 100% that there's no reason for doing it, other than, you know, we're doing fighting, so it just kind of helps. It just kind of helps with, again. Yeah. So I'm sure you are going to need a little bit of a top-up, love. Yeah, so it just kind of helps keep all of the energy filled up. So that
stand there. This thing weighs a ton.
You're not running low on anything, really. And if you come to this point, you'll see the layout of the necropolis there, and you'll see above by Jen's face there, you've got the green energy of the ferroi, and below that is Scree's energy, so you can see he's like halfway done. So we're going to have to sort that. Right, now there is fighting here, but what I like to do is camp. Because this dumbass will actually follow you in. There is only 2 in here, I believe. There's this dude and the shield one. So we'll come back for the lodestone in a minute. Because there's a few more collectibles in here to be had, but I think for now I'm going to take out the shield guy. As you can see, that Scree was doing the life drain thing while we were in battle. You can control Scree and Jen sort of interdependently. Did he just drain this guy? No, he didn't. So we'll do that manually now. As you can see, Jen's run back out of that room. And this is what I mean about when you're on the ledges. I like to leave her there so she can't run around. There's no particular reason for it. It's just it stops her from running around, and then you have that loading thing if they go too far apart from each other. Right, this crystal is useful. The energy gems will completely restore her demon energy if she loses all of her demon energy. So if her demon health bar drops to 0, the energy gem will break and it will completely refill her energy. Useful in some situations. Not always necessary.
Don't just stand there. This thing weighs a ton.
At last we have another cutscene, so I shall take another drink.
Is that you? Your father has been wild with despair.
My father. Take it easy. Come on, let me get these chains off you.
What happened to you?
On a hunt, some
Moons ago, I was attacked by that fiend who sits at my father's right hand.
Who do you mean?
Captured, tortured, chained here ever since. Forced to listen as she came back and told me of each new act of wickedness she'd inflicted on my people. Each trick she played to inflame my father's misery.
What? Wait up. Davina did this to you? Your own mother?
No!
Oh dear, your poor mother. Your poor mother. If anyone can tell me where that quote is from, kudos to you. You will win Ian points. I don't know.
A shape shifter, born of this land.
Highness, how can you be so sure when even your father, the king, suspects nothing?
She couldn't resist telling me. Smiled and said my mother lay in a chamber nearby. This imposter often goes there. I've heard chanting. Terrible noises.
Well, let's go and see if we can get in there then.
She's no fool. It'll be locked.
Ah, fine. Well, I was only...
And the key, Highness?
If it's anywhere, the key may be in her rooms at my father's fortress. Yes. She suddenly took to keeping her rooms heavily guarded just before I was abducted. Now if we... You must help me. This imposter must be revealed. If I only had strength. We have to.
Save your strength, Highness. It is best that no one knows that we have discovered you here. Rest now while we find this key.
Yeah, and make him think I haven't untied you.
My friend, I am truly grateful for your help. I can sense your strength, even if you do not have a look of a warrior.
You wouldn't say that if you'd seen her earlier.
Okay then, Scree. Let's head for the fortress.
Please, take this talisman. It will prove your worth to my countrymen.
We will return. Looks like you found an admirer.
Button it, Scree. We got a fortress to raid.
Once again, she was out of her demon form during a cutscene. See, it's just nice to come out here and not have any battles. There's pots I haven't smashed. Yes, I know I'm desecrating a necropolis. Sacred hallowed ground, but hey. Did I get the two in the corner? Yes, I did. I
Guess
may...
we better move it, fella. It's a long way back to the city.
Then I suggest we take the easy way, Jen, the Rift Gate. We don't want you arriving there exhausted.
Me?
See that one? She was stuck in a demon form. Like, I don't really... Yeah, it doesn't take away from the game, really, at all. It's just the little things that sort of just kind of I don't really understand. Right, so we want to go to the Great Temple. Oh dear. I know what's coming next. Yes, I really do know what's coming next. But I think, in all honesty, I am just going to make the stream about the 2 hours long mark. So, pausing it here, I'm going to manually save. See, you can see here how many times I've actually played this, and only once, I think once. Solum, 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 Nexus, Solum. Right, so 29. That's going to be our save point there. So in this episode, we have found the Justice card, which was Kronos, and that was in the Nexus. Moving into Solum, we found the Fool, which is Jen, the King of Pentacles, Hearn, Strength, Scree, the Empress, Arella, and the Queen of Pentacles, which was Divina. In the next episode, we will be completing Solum and getting the last 3 tarot cards for the realm. So in the next one, expect to finish this realm, and then we'll sort of progress to the beginning of Aquis, which is the second realm, but then we'll be calling it there because there is a little bit in between Solum and Aquis that we do need to go through. But for now, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this this episode of Let's Stream Primal. I do apologise for the random lag and glitches, but I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, and you haven't already, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for further videos. Push the little notification icon because that will tell you when I'm going live next. As I say, my stream schedule I'm hoping to install for myself will be Saturdays, Mondays, and Wednesdays, but I will be more clear on that at a later point. But thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the stream. This is IanLar1985 or Dark Fury 1985 signing out. Thank you very much for watching.